Hi guys, this is Merv, Bonsai with Merv. Some time ago we talked about Malpighia punicifolia or dwarf cherry tree, and for beginners this was a cutting that I set up last year and it's doing just beautifully. So what I'd like to do is create a new bonsai with this cutting, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to keep on working with the Japanese traditional bonsai. Okay. Now what we're doing is when I'm looking at my plant, let me see. Maybe I can pull it out of the pot without really disturbing the roots too much. Aha! Look how that has grown in 1 year. That is phenomenal. Okay, now what I'm doing is I want to see what the roots are doing. Got some nice top root structure there. Let's move it around and look at it. We're looking for a front. We're looking for a situation that this plant is going to show off its best movement to us. And at this point, I'm thinking that right here, here we are. That should do the trick, okay? I'm looking at this as the front of the tree. I'm looking at number 1 branch, even though it's not as strong as number 2, but I'm going to give it time to develop. And then we have a back branch and the apex, okay? Basics. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prune it. First of all, take this bottom branch off, not necessary. Here, I'm going to cut it back to 2 leaves. As you can see, cut it back to 2 leaves. And keeping this in sync, just making a little bit longer, 2 leaves. So I can branch in that area. The back branch, we take off a couple of these large leaves. I have a branching situation in here. Take off those, trim them. I'm trimming them so that there are 2 leaves. This particular plant grows, as you can see, the leaves are pairs, 1 on each side. So this means that when I cut that off, what's going to happen is the new branches grow. I'm going to have 2 new branches grow in there. And then when that happens again, I'll show you what we do. Okay? Now to balance this structure off, let's take it off right around here. Okay? Oh, look at that. We have a gorgeously large tree, and now we got something small. Alright, now I'm going to take number 2 wire on the trunk, and just rule of thumb, to test the wire that you're going to be using. Number 2 wire is going to go on this trunk. So if I can push the trunk with this wire and the wire is not bending, it will hold the wire. It will hold it. If I take a number 1 wire and hold it too and push, you see how the wire is bending? That means it's not strong enough to hold that branch in shape. Okay? So we're back to number 2 wire. This will be the first area to be wired would be the trunk, the main trunk. And what we do is we push it into the soil, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, clamp it up against the trunk, and loosely spiral it. Giving it a nice 45-degree spiral. You don't want to make them too tight and too much of a spring, because it'll work. It'll give you that spring action, and that we do not want on this on any of your bonsai. Okay? As I'm going up, I am going to remove a couple of leaves, and as I'm wiring, I'm going to be wiring in between the leaves and not really press them up against the trunk. I'm going to try not to hamper the growth of the leaves. Okay? That is number 1 wire. Now, because I have this, I can bend the wire, and by doing that, we can shape the plant. Okay, we can give it a shape. All right. Now, I'm going to move in on to number 2 wire. Number 2 wire, every once in a while wire will fight back. Right? Number 2 wire, here we are. And with this number 2 wire, I'm going to wire number 1 branch and number 2 branch. Okay? Make sure you cut them long enough. And what you need to make sure is that when you're running this wire, you're following the spiral that you have on the trunk. You do not want to cross the wire over that spiral. Okay? Because if you do, what you'll be doing is you're clamping the wire up against the trunk, and as the trunk is growing, it'll start expanding, and because you have the wire clamped on, running it over the top of that wire, it's going to cut into the branch, and you do not want to scar the branches. Okay, so this is number 1 branch, taking this wire up the branch, take your time, make sure you wire it properly. This wire, you want to make sure this wire stays on for anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, so you don't want it too tight. You want to make sure that you're leaving enough room between the wire and the branch that you're wiring, so that it won't scar and it'll allow the branch to expand. I have 1 more branch here, so that number 1 wire again, I'm going to cut a piece off so that I'm going to start down here, following the spiral up the plant to the branch, and then wire the branch. Okay? Now that wasn't too radical, and this is a great beginner plant. As you can see, I can be as radical with my movement as I want to be. This is an informal upright. Number 1 branch off to the right. Okay? Number 2 branch, I have it off to the left. There's number 1 and number 2, like they want to hug you. The back branch, this is going to give us the fullness, and then of course the apex, which the top of the tree coming forward, and it's bowing towards you. Now, the bunjing, just remember, bunjing, informal upright, the apex, the top of the tree, when you draw a straight line down, it should be lined up with the trunk where it comes out to the ground. Those are the rules you want to follow. Okay? So there we are. We have bunjing in training. And I'm not going to put it into a bonsai pot because I do want it to continue growing. So I'm going to put it back into the grow pot. And we're going to put it back in the nursery, and we're going to make sure that this baby keeps on growing. And within the next month or 2, we're going to show you what's happening and how it's progressing. And if you remember the tip, we had 5 of these, so keep on coming on with me, and we will take each one of them and turn them into a different style so you can see different styles of bonsai. Okay? I thank you for being with me. This is Merv, Bonsai with Merv. Go to YouTube and make sure you subscribe. Let us know when you go on to Facebook. Tell us if you like us. Remember, both of those sites, Bonsai with Merv, and you'll be able to find us. Please talk to us. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.